Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from TobaccoAdvent.com.
And together, along with you, the three of us, we are Mark Woodman's Breakfast Club. Welcome back once again to Tobacco Advent 2020 Day 11.
And it's just flying
Thumbnail.
on by.
It's not a thumbnail. I need a picture for Instagram.
Nope.
I've been forgetting to do that.
We're not going to start with 11. We're not going to backdate these. Good luck. Yeah, I realized that actually as we were doing that. In the past, we have done thumbnails from the videos themselves, and this year we went back to, I think we did that last year too, just because it's easier.
Just the number.
Those have served us so well now. 7th time. This will be our 7th time through Tobacco Advent. I
thought it was 8.
Maybe it's 8.
I think it's 8.
Oh my goodness. That means by the end of this season, we will have over 200 Tobacco Advent videos. Because if you recall, 1 or 2 years we've done some bonuses. I think a couple years ago we did like 27 or 28 days.
Yeah.
And then the very first year we signed every ornament that went out and had a time-lapse video of that.
So dumb.
That was real dumb. But those of you that have one of those first year cobs, ornaments, don't smoke it. Not for smoking.
So what are we smoking here?
Good question.
We started packing and didn't describe it.
These are 2 of my favorite tobaccos, and I started mixing them 50-50. I hope you guys use my backy and hope you too enjoy it as much as I do. Merry Xmas and Happy New Year. Sutliff Pumpkin Spice and Boswell's Christmas Cookie. From Roger in Kentucky. We have had Boswell's Christmas Cookie.
Yeah.
Have we had? I don't recall the I don't recall the pumpkin spice. I know we've had Boswell's Christmas Cookie a couple of times, I think.
Yeah.
It smells cinnamony.
I'm into that.
So, all your Christmas shopping done yet? Christmas shopping started yet?
Well,
Holiday CVS open?
I bought some knives.
I know you did. I know you did. I too bought some knives. Although I got at the shipping price, and so I cut it down to to 7.
They took your order?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
they took my order. So those of you that have been around the channel for any length of time, you'll know that our favorite knife, one of our favorite knives in the world, our favorite knife for the money, is this Z knife made and sold by Grizzly. It has a Japanese steel and is just incredibly sharp from the factory, stays sharp, and is just a good pocket-sized, all-purpose, multi-purpose, small knife. Now I know people that cannot stand carrying a knife that small.
It is a lockback.
Which we both prefer, generally.
The money clip, though I've never clipped money in mine.
And now I can say it's not great for cutting a steak because the Z. So have I, but it's not great for it because the Z gets stuck.
Get stuck in the steak. So Grizzly had a whole. The guy that owns Grizzly, interesting fella, started a knife company called Jungly, and it was not, again, wasn't a huge success, and so he kind of drew down on that and sold off almost all their knives, and now they just kind of do them as specials.
And we bought
so
many of them.
Yeah, this
when they were selling
one,
for $10.
Yeah, this particular one was a $25 knife originally, and I got one while visiting there in Burlingame, Washington, I think it is, and loved it. And so after that, we started buying them, and then when they discontinued them, we bought a couple, and then we started buying them whenever they'd show up on eBay. And for us, the magic number was $10. If they got the $10 and free shipping, you just buy them. Mm-hmm. And so I got a couple. Boys got a couple. They're
I went up for like 20 over time, and they make the perfect gift for anybody when you need something randomly, or if there's someone that you really want to buy a good gift for. It's such a high quality, especially for the cost. I gave one to a coworker once, and he carries with it every day. Every day, he said he doesn't carry a knife. Doesn't carry a knife, and I was just shocked. I was like, "What do you mean you don't have a knife with you at any point in time?" He's like, "No, never really have." He's an Eagle Scout, so you don't have a knife with you. Like, the utility of them, and so I gave him one. It was his birthday, like right after we had this conversation. I just went into my garage, went into where they're all packed in cardboard boxes. Gave him one, and he's still carrying it now, almost a year later.
The last couple I bought were plastic, in a plastic card.
Oh.
Yeah, they carded them for a while.
I don't like the ones that had like the rubberized.
I didn't like that. Yeah, that was my least favorite one. So anyway, they discontinued and they went away, and then slowly but surely the price went back to the old retail price. So when you do see them on eBay or even on Amazon, they're around $25. So the other day, I'm trying to think how I stumbled across it. How did I stumble across that? Oh, I know exactly how I stumbled across it. I'm on eBay and I see the knife, and it was the Z knife, but on the handle it said bullets.com.
Show the branding.
Yeah,
because they've had a number of different branding labels on there.
Yeah, so instead of having the standard scrimshaw, fake scrimshaw, and that one you can see is, I think, all Ironside. And we've had them with deer and fish.
A grizzly bear. It says grizzly on it.
It says grizzly, yeah. Anyway, it's kind of hideous looking that they put right across the middle of this bullets.com. So I went to bullets.com, and it looks more like a landing page, and it has like 3 icons, and you click on one of them, and it takes you to grizzly.com. And I backed out and clicked on another one. It took me to grizzly.com. It's like, oh, I bet this is Mr. Baiola, the owner of Grizzly. I bet it's him either launching another brand, or maybe it's a brand that has died.
Yeah.
So I searched within Grizzly for Z-Knife, and up popped these bullet.com versions of these knives, and they were on clearance. So they were on clearance for $4. $4. That's insane. I've never seen them that cheap, and every other time when they've been on clearance,
It's so loud.
or they're
getting rid of them.
But they were having a one-day special for $1.97, something like that.
$2.
Yeah, which is insane. So I bought some and threw the message over to Boy, and then since I didn't get a reply back from him, I called him and said, "Did you see the link I sent you?"
Yeah. So these, if you ever stumble on them, and again, $10 is $10 or less, buy one. They're great, great beater knife, and for you have seen us, if you've watched many of our channel or many of our videos, you have seen us use them to open a tin because it's got a thick back edge on this, and it's such a small profile that you can get perfect leverage right in that keyway to pop a tin open. They're great for that. Yeah, so I was tinkering around, and it's Christmas time, don't have just a random knife budget laying around, and so I'm like, okay, I'm in for 10. I can justify 10, and I saw $10 shipping. Like, 10 at $30, still an incredible deal, but $30 was more than
At Christmas time.
right, and $30 was more than I wanted to budget. At this point, everybody that I would give one to already has one, or 2 or 3. And so...
And really, the fact that it has the URL on it,
it doesn't bother me. I don't care.
It's less of a gift than the other ones with the scrimshaw.
Well, anyway, so I played the numbers game, and I just went down one at a time and refreshed the cart to see where the shipping threshold was. And it turns out the shipping threshold was at 7. At 7, it's $5 shipping. At 8, it's $10 shipping. And I was like, okay, 7, that knocks $6 off of the cost of the knives, plus the $5 off of the shipping, so it was right at $20. Like, I'm in. I'm in. 7 knives, $20? Yeah, yes please.
Crazy. Heck of a deal. I packed poorly.
Uh-oh. These we've already gone a little way, so I'm gonna go one of my questions.
How could they submit a question?
Oh, there is a link down in the description. 2 links. One link to submit. It's just a fillable form, a Google form, where you can submit a question and give us your contact info. We'll make sure to put that in the description. Just as a way of saying thank you. And then there's another link where you can see what questions others have already submitted. So if you want to get a preview, or see if you don't want to duplicate a question. So that.
What's the cheapest pocket knife you've ever?
Yeah. What's the most surprising business opportunity you have ever had?
Does it have to be one that I've taken, or?
Mm-mm. I'll start because I might have 2, depending on how bad yours is.
I've got 2 as well.
Okay, well, we'll just do 2. We'll alternate. My company makes grease interceptors, and so they one of the styles goes in the ground. Basically, what they do is when restaurants wash the dishes, any fats, oils, and greases that come off of the plates and the skillets and those things that go down the sink drains need to be captured. Otherwise, they will coagulate and solidify in the pipes, causing sewage to back up into the streets and flow into rivers and other things. And so our equipment that we make is designed in such a way to help capture grease really close to the sinks while it's still in a liquid kind of form, before it can pass down into the sewer system and solidify. So these go together. I've had in the last 2 years, I've had a request to most recently use our grease interceptors to for a marijuana grow farm, because they wanted to try to capture mercury and nitrogen and things in the water that they were using for hydroponics before it goes into the city sewers. That was just a new opportunity, potentially. I don't know. We don't know anything about that. But the one that was really weird is I had a city, Las Vegas, call me up and ask, hey, can we use your grease interceptors for alkaline hydrolysis? If you don't know what that is, it is chemical cremation, where they use chemicals to cremate a body. They then will, at that point, what's left is water soluble. And so what is left after this chemical process, the body totally breaks down, human body, and then they can just put it into the water system and it passes straight on down.
Is it fats?
Well, that was the question. The question, the concern is, will there be fat left over that the city needs to be concerned about entering the stream? So I got to spend the better part of a full day researching this process, researching how it's done, what are the byproducts, what's needed to make it clean. It turns out, if you have not heard of this, you will, because it is a cleaner, more energy efficient version of cremation. It uses something like 1/10 the energy, and it's using a base to do complete dissolving, and all that's left is basically calcium, sodium, and carbon, and that's all that remains when it's done, and that can be completely dissolved in less than 50 gallons of water. So in less than 50 gallons of water, it's completely clean and dissolved. And so
then
turns out there is no fat. None of that is left.
So here, Mrs. Johnson, here's your dearly departed.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically that. No, I mean, they just like with normal cremation, the calcium is bones, and they will collect those and put them into a container that you can have. But everything else just is just dissolved away.
Yeah.
So when I've talked about it before, it is that scene from Breaking Bad, if you have seen that, in the bathtub in the early seasons, first season of Breaking Bad. But yeah, that was for work. I got to learn all about it. They use it all the time on like farms. Poultry farms.
Right.
You know, they'll have 10,000 chickens die a day on these, 500,000 poultry farms, and they've got to get rid of those bodies some way. Yeah. So was one of mine.
So back in the early 80s, my father-in-law owned a hardware store, He and his brother-in-law started the hardware store together, and then they split up, and my father-in-law went on to own it. But right after he became the sole owner, he got sick with cancer. And so my wife and I were running it, and then her dad died. And very much a surprise. He was 52 or 53 years old. And so we were running this place, and my mother-in-law was pretty disinterested in the business. And we got a call one afternoon. It was like a Thursday afternoon from Homelight Jacobson. And we were a Homelight Jacobson dealer. We sold lawnmowers, chainsaws, string trimmers made by Homelight. And they said, we are set up this weekend for the Dayton Home Show at the Dayton Mall. And we had a partner that was supposed to participate with us, but for whatever reason, they didn't disclose it. They've pulled out. Now, I know the partner. The partner was Centerville Hardware, which was another Ace hardware store that to this day is a hugely successful hardware store and very, very close to the Dayton Mall. We were 20 miles away from the Dayton Mall, but a very rural hardware store. And so they thought of us. They said, you're a stocking dealer. What we would love for you to do is, if you can man the booth with us, you get all the leads and all the sales that take place over the weekend.
Wow.
We'll just write the orders up for you. The commitment was somebody had to man the booth, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we'd had to bring a few things along with us that we had it in inventory. Wonderful deal. My mother-in-law would not allow it.
Wow.
She wouldn't allow it. She just thought, no, we need the bodies at the store.
Wow.
Okay,
That's
we were
frustrating.
open half a day on Saturday. We did a couple $100.
Right.
And of course, that Saturday we did nothing because everybody was at the Dayton Mall for the home show.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge opportunity that we squandered. And what was the other one? I had another one.
Why do you think of that?
I know. So my father-in-law, when he was living, there was a period of time where I was unemployed. And it was short because I was usually working multiple jobs. And maybe I was working an evening job and looking for something else. He said, I know a guy from work who, they were all laid off from Dayton Press, big publishing plant in Dayton that shut down after I don't know how many years. And he said, here's his business card, give him a call. He's looking for somebody who wants to get in on the ground floor in the sale of outhouses. Okay, thanks. I didn't even call him. I just took a pass because I was not interested in being in the outhouse business. And sometime later, I'm driving down, I think it was Woodman Drive, and I see this, what was a closed gas station property, and I'm sitting at the light, and I look over, and it's all these sheds and garages and these buildings,
Mm-hmm.
and the name of the company and the logo was the logo that was on my business card. It was Outhouses. And it was a clever idea, a clever name, too clever for its own good.
Right.
For this guy who ultimately became huge in the Dayton area. And he would rent or lease these properties that were sitting vacant and just load them with all these sheds.
Oh,
and
man.
I think they were Amish made, and he'd truck them in, and really good business.
Yeah.
And because I judged a book by its toilet,
Mm-hmm.
I passed on it. So
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know in the end if I would want to be in that business, but it would have been an interesting job to have for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So last year I had the opportunity to go. I submitted a proposal to a event being put on by British Water, which is a organization that brings in all of the big water and sewer municipalities in all of the UK, and they've kind of brought them in under one umbrella and sent a proposal to speak at a conference they were holding, and they said, yeah, we'd love for you to come. And so that presented an opportunity, kind of the excuse for four of us from our company to travel. It was the first time I traveled internationally, and got not only to go there, to go to Ireland, and opened a lot of other business opportunities for us. But the part of it that was most silly, most fun for me, is the actual presentation, because I'm in a room with 100 or so of these British people that take their job very seriously, government employees, many of them. And my presentation was almost completely picture-based. I'm just speaking, and there are pictures just to kind of punctuate the points I'm making. And I was talking about how in the U.S., we are, for better or for worse, prone to action, and in the UK, they're prone to deliberation and inaction. And so I was trying to tell them, look, our experience with this is that we have enacted some laws, some enforcement in this area of grease interceptors that we thought would be great, and now 30 years after the fact are not as great as they could be. And the fact that we enacted these things, we're now having to fight against ourselves in these past decisions that we have made, where in that environment they haven't made that first decision yet. And so my whole point was learn from us and kind of leap over the decisions that we made. But what sticks out to me is for that particular portion of my presentation, the slide that I used was a cupcake of Cookie Monster, and then a nailed it version of a Cookie Monster cupcake. And so, a very beautiful cupcake, and then it was a Pinterest fail, just ugly, you can if you squint, might tell that it's Cookie Monster. And so I'm giving this like bright blue Cookie Monster, just ugly picture as part of my presentation. It was the most talked about presentation of the whole event. And I think partly because it stood out. Lunch? I was the very first. I opened the thing, and probably at that point 8 out of 10 presenters after me referenced my presentation. So it resonated with me, the point that I had made. But just still to this day, the idea of one, this opportunity opened doors for this great trip I got to take and other business opportunities, but two, just how silly and ridiculous the whole thing is to have had that opportunity to present, and then it was well received. It's just,
that's great,
fun.
All right, so hey, we'll throw it to you. If you're shooting video responses, we'd love to see them, and you will be in the running to receive a Cobbit. So be sure to link to that down below and in any one of these videos. If you're shooting it to answer this question, it would be appropriate to link it here.
That's right.
We may take a few days to find it in the spam folder, but we would love to see it.
You keep saying that. I haven't seen a single one yet.
So
maybe
we're out of pipe tobacco now, as of right now.
Right.
So tomorrow we have something else to smoke that's not pipe tobacco. So a little bit of a departure, but that's what happens on Tobacco Advent because it's not pipe Advent.
That's true. That is true. What about the mix of pumpkin spice?
Would I smoke it again?
Yeah.
Why, yes.
Yeah, that's really
yes,
good.
I
That's
would
a really
smoke
good
it
mix.
again.
That's a really good. Mine is totally gone.
Roger.
I totally burned it.
Roger. Good blend. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Again, that was, what was it again? It was Christmas.
I don't know, it's in your pocket.
I know. Boswell's Christmas Cookie and Sutliff Pumpkin Spice. Good blend.
Yeah.
So well done. All right, make it a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.